your host of Talking with Famous People, and I am live streaming. It's true. And that's something that nobody can deny. Nobody can deny. Not unlike that whole jolly good fellow thing. So, why am I live streaming? Well, hello, big dog. The reason, you might say, is because prior to starting the stream, I was on the computer and love you too, big dog. Hi, Jay Turnbull. I think we're having a great day. We watched the USC women's basketball team kick ass, and I wasn't expecting much from the men's team anyway. So anyway, what I was doing before I started streaming is I was scrolling down Reddit, r/memes, just looking at memes. I was listening to music, a mix that YouTube had made for me, and I was playing poker at the same time. So I was just thinking about putting, getting, and receiving information. It's like, in that instance, I'm receiving information in two different ways, I guess. I'm receiving the music and understanding whether I like it or not, or that various things. And I'm receiving the memes as well, because even though I'm getting that information in some sense, I'm scrolling down, right? That's really engaging with receiving function, because you don't really decide whether a meme's good or not. You just know whether it is. But let's say I had been trying to get information. Like I was earlier, I was playing poker, listening to music, and trying to get information, which was trying to figure out if they've already determined which three teams in the Big Ten are not going to make the conference tournament. And it looks like USC made it regardless of what happened today. So that was kind of nice. Anyway, so it's a nice way to demonstrate the ideas of cognitive functions as well, because cognitive functions, like the things I'm doing on the computer, they have information directionality. Like TIFI, they're get functions. You're getting information and using it to make a decision. It might not always feel like that, but TI, for example, goes, okay, well, what exactly do you mean by meow? That's seeking and getting information. When we're receiving things, it's like when I'm scrolling through those memes. I just know which ones are good and which ones suck, That's just receiving. When I'm listening to music, I'm just receiving. And I can do two different kinds of receiving, eyes and ears, concurrently, right? I can listen to music and scroll memes. Interfacing, playing poker. Okay, so the difference between interfacing and taking some kind of action, being an action thing, is that I can't ignore the poker game. So let's say I want to, because prior to that I was watching sports instead of scrolling memes. So let's just imagine me watching sports, playing poker, and what else? Watching sports, playing poker, and listening to music. Okay. So in that case, I've got the sports muted. But it's got sports there, and I've got the poker over here, and you can see I've got my screen divided, right? So in this instance, I want to blow up this big because I've got a good hand, so I want to see exactly what I'm doing. I've got pocket aces. I can ignore the things in the background. Let's say there was still music playing. And there was a bad song that came on. I could just ignore that. No, nothing bad's going to happen. I'm not going to miss anything. Let's say I missed a good play in the basketball game. Well, I could just rewind and see it when I'm done with this poker hand. But in contrast, let's say I bring the screen up big to watch the play big, I can't forget about the poker one because I'm interfacing there. That one has to be prioritized as keep in front of you because it's dynamic and responsive in a way that other kinds of paying attention aren't. All right, well, I'm going to go 8.5 with this pair of aces I have. I hope nobody's got a set. Okay, well, what's the pot? I'll just go all in. All in's a pot-sized bet. Insta call, not good, but I win. Good job, Eric. Way to go. So when I'm interfacing with this, one thing I can do is take action. I can talk while I'm interfacing with the poker game. So in this, what I chose to do is replace essentially, hi Mark's the realist, replace essentially my receive, my two receive function, my two things I'm receiving, say the sports game and music, with one thing that I'm doing, which is live streaming. And so I'm talking and interfacing. In fact, I can ignore what I'm doing for a second if it's important. For example, when I get that hand and I'm in the middle of talking, I might just stop talking for a second because I need to shift my attention wholly to this. I can't divide it. But you'll notice that cognitive functions work the same way. You've got two get functions that are getting information. And so, for example, if somebody put a complicated question up here in the chat, I might try to get more information from them. Well, what do you mean when you say this? You could also be taking a poop during all of that. You could be. Or peeing, as I often do, because I have a jar here so I don't have to leave the room to pee, and I just carry it into the toilet and flush it. That I'm not exactly sure what that qualifies as. I guess that's putting information. I guess that's action. But so you've got two get functions, fi and ti. Ti gets clarity about things, like what do you mean exactly? And fi gets clarity in another way. Like when my psychiatrist, when I was really mad at him, finally said, okay, I got it. You're disappointed in me. And at the time I thought, oh, that's not relevant to anything. But after the fact, I thought, you know what? That's exactly right. That's what happened. That's why I was so upset. I was disappointed in him. And in either case, you've got information getting with fi and ti. You've got interfacing with fe and te. That is to say, if you're in the middle of interfacing, either fe or te, and you're also listening to the radio, you need to prioritize. You need to prioritize the thing you're interfacing with, either the FE interface with another person or the TE interface with some system. Let's say you got a screw going like this, you're unscrewing the screw and trying to remember what the next order of operations is or something, some TE thing, trying to figure shit out. And you realize you don't like the song on the radio. Well, you need to finish this interface part here before dealing with that. Because interfacing kinds of action, because really action and interfacing are both action approaches, and just as deliberation and knowledge are both epistemics, so my point is we can understand a lot about attentional manners with that analogy. The thing is, the one thing you're not going to do much of, on the internet is SE. Actually, you will do plenty of SE stuff. Buying stuff is SE. It's pulling the trigger, You can buy stuff online. I hate buying stuff. Hi, Rachel Strauss. Thank you. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. That's why people always tell me, you're a lucky man. I saw this one meme earlier that says, you're a lucky man. Means I would fuck your wife. No, I'm not your daddy, Bama, at 25. I promise. I only have one child, and she's 26, and not you. Kevin Bradley, welcome. Jeremiah Fix, I see you went on X today and found rampant use of logical fallacies. You don't have to go anywhere to find that. It's all over the place. I mean, the thing is, it's only fallacious when used in an argument, right? If I say, you're a jerk, that's not an ad hominem fallacy. That's just an insult. Rachel's in bed, lying horizontal. So, yeah, I was thinking about that. What other things was I thinking about that I wanted to chat about on the interwebs here online? Well, the thing is, you could say, I could ask somebody, for example, a simple question. Maybe I will in typing sessions from now on. When you're on the internet, do you mostly receive things that's like scrolling down an endless line of memes waiting to see one that's good, you know? Do you mostly, or another way of receiving things is just watching a show on streaming service, you know? Do you mostly use the internet to receive? To get, that's any kind of researching. To put, that's what I'm doing, right? I'm putting information on the internet. Or to interface, like playing poker. Which of those four things do you do most on the internet? And that might even be informative about what type somebody is. I'm not sure. I'm just ideating here because that's what I do. I put out information. Interfacing is greater than what? Getting kicked in the nuts? I agree. I have to light it before it smokes. You know what? Let me get a beverage. Let me just man up, go inside, and get that beverage I've been needing to get for a long time. What's one experience you've had that you wish you could relive? Just relive it, right? I don't get to change anything. I guess that. I mean, it could be. It could be the first national champion that I ever coached, and it was actually a speech kid. It wasn't even a debate kid. The award ceremony for that, because that was incredibly exciting. The award ceremony. It's like, you know, they've gotten it down to the final six people. The field may start with like 200 kids in it, and now you're down to the final six people. And they all have a final round. And there's a panel of 5 judges trying to determine which one of the speeches they hear is best. And, you know, and at that time, I can watch my speech kids. I have trouble watching my debate kids because I get too stressed out. But, so I watched his round. I thought he did well, but it's hard to say what the judges think. What do these 5 judges think? Is he going to get 6th place? You know, 6th place is fantastic, but you already knew you made finals the day before. So that's the worst you could do, you know? And the way they did it in the award ceremony was like, in 6th place from Morning Heights Academy. And they go, oh, yes, that's not my school. Yes. And then in 5th place, and 4th place. And we were just getting more and more excited. It was like, everybody was playing like, hold me back, you know? In 3rd place, in 2nd place, and then they paused for a big pause just to make it dramatic, right? Because that's going to tell you who the winner is. from Maryland Academy. And then we're just like, yeah, I jumped up and down. It was so exciting. Another possible experience I'd like to relive would be the time I had a meeting with the city of Pomona. I was being deposed, actually. I was giving a deposition in the city of Pomona's offices, and I was talking about, I mean, the primary purpose of the deposition was from the lawyer from this guy who had gotten tased a shit ton of times. I was standing around watching and filming, of course, this event where there was like this huge gang of cops. There was one like kind of crazy homeless guy with like a stick or something. And they just fucking tased the living shit out of him until finally everyone's kind of standing there in silence. Finally, I say, "Stop tasing him! You've done enough!" And then everybody started yelling, "Stop tasing him!" And then the cop came and pushed me off of the curb because he saw me as the instigator of the "stop tasing him." He took the butt of his beanbag gun and pushed me right here in the chest, and I went off the curb. I'm like, "You assaulted me! You just assaulted me!" Tangent, I can't keep ENTP girls' attention. They forget to respond to me. So anyway, because of all that, and because I made a big stink about it, saying like, "Listen, city attorney of Pomona, you better stop ignoring me." I had my First Amendment rights violated. Not to mention my bodily integrity rights, but I didn't care about that because it didn't hurt. It was just, he just pushed me off the curb with the butt of his gun. He didn't like bam me really hard or something. Anyhow, so then I went in and they deposed me, which is to say, you're under oath, and then they ask you a bunch of questions. And that was one of my very favorite experiences. It was just pure, exactly what Eric wants, right? I'm the center of attention. I'm explaining everything to everybody. It's like, well, at one point they said, "In your opinion, did the police use excessive force?" And I was like, "Indisputably, yes." But anyway, I got to tell my whole story. There was laughs too, like when I explained. Okay, so you were filming because they ask a lot of factual stuff, try to nail the shit down. Like, so you were standing at this spot over here and filming with your camera like this above your head, right? Yes, that's right. And then what happened after the cop pushed you off the curb and everything? Well, I was standing around screaming, basically, that cop's a criminal. He just assaulted me. And some lady came up to me and said, "Fuck off, weirdo." So then I left. Everybody laughed at that. That's a good memory. They're called ego spank bank things. That's a good question, Kermit. Super good question. I really like it. What is one thing I wish wouldn't have happened to me rather than thing that I did? It's another good question. I wish hadn't happened to me. Um, I guess I wish my dad hadn't removed me as a trustee. Not because I want to be a trustee, but because he told me that before he died. After he died was doubly difficult because I thought I'd been disinherited, basically. I was going to have to rely on my daughter to, be a better family member than my dad was. In actuality, that's not what happened, but he didn't explain anything about that. His death would have been a shit ton easier if it didn't have that extra factor in it. And then when we finally went to the lawyer, I don't remember, months after he killed himself, when we finally went to the lawyer and they read what the shit said, yeah, Delilah was the only trustee, but what she was expressly supposed to do is basically dispense everything to me. So it's like he took me off as a trustee, but he made me the primary by a lot dispensatory, accepting a little bit for my daughter, a little bit comparatively. So that's what I wish wouldn't have happened to me. Rather than like I don't wish him killing himself hadn't happened to me, and that was something that happened to me because Rachel and I were home at the time, and um, well, I was I had to go. I didn't even know he'd shot himself. I just thought he had fallen down maybe or something. I didn't know what that loud noise was, but I was over there like trying to do chest compressions or whatever, and basically my dad bled out in my arms from a big hole in the back of his head. But I don't wish that hadn't happened to me. I find that kind of a good thing. Like it, I got to see death up close and personal. There really is a death rattle. There's a moment when he goes, shakes, and then he's gone. And I knew it. I knew there was no way I was going to save him from the outset. But as soon as that happened, I knew it was all over. He was dead. And that was fine. The cops came, firemen came. And Rich and I were murder suspects briefly. Oh, it's fine, Jay Turnbull. It was a long time ago. Yes, it was very traumatic, I guess, but I didn't really understand how traumatic it was until not that long ago, maybe a month or two ago. I feel like I came out of this fog of what I now would call depression or mourning or something. Which really had a lot to do with guilt too. The difference between, well, when it happened, I asked Rachel, why is it that a suicide is so much worse than another kind of death for the mourners? And she said, because it's about unhappiness. And that's very astute. It's a very astute observation from Rachel. But the bottom line is, I had a lot of guilt. I still have a lot of guilt, but it's not like pathological at this point. Because obviously I could have done a better job of being a family member, a son, and being there for him in his last couple of years. Even though I was living with him, I didn't. and it was hard to spend time with him. First of all, if I ever suggested we did something, the answer was always no. When he suggested we do something, it it was pretty rare, but it would often be kind of like in the moment, and I'd probably be in the middle of something else, you know. So anyway, the point is, it's about unhappiness, fine. But the reason he was unhappy, this is how effy people can be. I was so just effy, fi blind spot that anytime I saw my dad's facial expression, being like, I assumed he was mad at me because I'm there and he's making that face, you know. And now what I understand is, of course, he was depressed or unhappy. He had lost his wife. She'd been put into the nursing home with dementia, and he couldn't even visit her thanks to COVID insanity. And he was losing all of his physical abilities. You know, he couldn't hardly hear anything. And once COVID, then he couldn't read lips anymore, so he extra couldn't hear anything. Um, he'd gotten a fairly recent eye operation so that he could see a little bit better, so he could still read, and he still had his physical ability to like walk around the block and do stuff like that. Um, but there wasn't then during some parts of COVID there wasn't much to do. He had historically really, I guess, enjoyed going on little vacations to the same places he always went, places with a timeshare or something. I don't know, but losing my mom meant he had to do that himself or invite me and Rachel, which he didn't seem particularly interested in doing that. And then when he actually killed himself, he had lost, at that point, he had fallen, broken ribs. He could no longer get around physically very easily. And he actually got COVID really bad, and it fucked up the eye that he had gotten the operation on. So now he couldn't even read, you know. He was in pain, couldn't get around hardly at all. Really couldn't drive because he couldn't see. Uh, he couldn't hear anything. And his wife had been placed on hospice, which means they expect they've got less than 4 months to live, 4 months or less to live, maybe 6, I don't remember. But what did happen was, it's September, October, November. Yeah, it's 4 months because she died right at 4 months after right 4 months after they put her in hospice, she died. Anyway, so he knew his wife was in her last phase, that if she got sick or something at the nursing home, they weren't going to take her to the hospital. They were just going to let her, just accept the fact that she's dying. So my dad had all that going on, and the only reason at all he, at that point, I think, might have had any motivation to stay alive was, number one, he felt responsible for my mom because they had had this long, very successful marriage. I mean, they'd been married like 50 years at least. It might have even been 60. No, it couldn't have been 60. They didn't get married when they were 22. Must have been 50. Still, that's a long marriage, right? He felt responsible for her, and he never really trusted. He couldn't delegate for shit, right? Like the idea that somebody else might be able to take care of his wife was inconceivable. And in fact, nobody could possibly take care of her as well and as lovingly as he did. But it took me a while to get that I'm not the center of the universe, and all of these that a lot of this guilt is just me thinking I'm more important than I am. Like I remember talking to my aunt, feeling really guilty about my aunt a lot because that's my dad's sister. And feeling like, oh, we have to bury him and have a nice ceremony, blah, blah, blah. At some point, my aunt let me know, kind of gently on the phone as we talked, because I felt like, guilty and obligated to call her, that she's got a huge family. She's got Julie, her daughter, who died of cancer, had multiple kids, one of whom has kids already. She's got great grandkids. She's got, two kids, which both of whom were adopted, but Brian and Julie, one of whom's dead. But Brian also has a marriage and kids. And so, as grandparents and great grandparents, their lives are as fulfilled as any super old people's lives can be, The idea that my aunt needed me somehow, whom she never really talked to or anything, is just, it blows me away that I could be so self-absorbed. But it's one of those FE things. If you're FE third, you are on the lookout for, maybe I did something to make someone not like me. Of course, it didn't help the whole process that the lady across the street went ahead and blamed us for my dad's death, basically on the grounds that we didn't eat dinner with him often enough. Okay, we didn't eat dinner with him often enough. Fine. But at the same time, that's not why he was so unhappy. That would have, at best, been a little band-aid we could have put on if I had done that more regularly. But he was such a weird control freak, He didn't... he was not interested in us finding a way to eat dinner together that worked for everybody. Because Rachel and I, we both eat when we get hungry. We don't think about eating until then. My parents were very different from me. My parents, when my mom got up in the morning, she knew for sure what we were having for dinner that night. And the next night, because she had the week planned out in advance. And of course, you have dinner at the same time. Because that's dinner time. And of course, you all sit at the table and eat dinner together because that's what families do. In contrast, that is not me at all. I always didn't like it if we stayed at a restaurant too long. If it were like a dinner party at our house, then I should have called that. What was I doing? It was like a dinner party at our house, and I'm done eating. Then I can just take my plate in the kitchen, put it in the sink, and then I can play. But at the restaurant, I have to just wait in the chair forever until my parents are ready to go. Because they would never let me get up and run around the restaurant or something like that. So I hated that. And yeah. Regardless, I may have some legit cause to feel guilt, but I'm overestimating my own importance by a large amount when I'm feeling guilty. I think that revelation was very liberating. But it took quite a while to get there because it's also the case that my failure to put myself in his shoes was just abject and total. But I am bipolar. However, I understand what that means. So at some point, I should have compensated. Stuff like that wouldn't happen to me nowadays. What do you do when you're single? You look for the right chick, try to find the right girl and settle down. That's what I do when I'm single. I was reading these very distressing articles yesterday about women cheating, why they cheat, how they cheat differently than men or something, and just how prevalent cheating is in marriages and other relationships. Um, if those articles are right, like an insane number of people are maintaining um, secret affairs behind their partners' backs. It's crazy. Well, one of the things it said that women will say they cheated not to leave but to stay. Who wants you anymore, whore? After you did that shit, nobody has any use for you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Okay, fine. So I busted out of that tournament, but I rebut. The number of cheaters seemed large, right? But then it just also made me think we live in a world of censors mostly. And yeah, let's pump some bulls. I agree. And that's I remember when I was a kid and I was skiing in Mammoth Lakes, California. And I got up the chairlift as at the same time as uh, a couple of like adults. And we may have even been on the same chair because sometimes they have like three people chairs and they'll put people who don't know each other together if there's a line. So and then as they got off the chairlift, I don't think I was on the same chair as them. One of the guys says, "Whew, that last run was better than sex." And I thought, like, I guess sex must be like the number one thing, must be the number one best thing in the world. Needless to say, uh, I was sorely disappointed when I discovered that it's just this thing that you're horny and it feels good and you're like, yeah, I'm fucking her. Yeah. And then you come and it's all done and you forget all about it. It has no meaning. Like it has huge meaning in non-relationships and or if it's cheating or something. But it's got huge meaning implications in terms of your relationships, but it means absolutely nothing in terms of the larger world. It's not like I don't remember specific instances of having sex and go, oh, that one time with that one person was fantastic. I don't remember any instances of having sex except for the most recent one, maybe. You know, because what's there to remember? It's a physical experience. And that's all it is. It has meaning only insofar as you're not settled into a healthy, happy relationship. Once you are, then it's just something you do periodically because you want to have sex, you get horny or something, and it's fun. But like, how could it be the best thing ever when you can take drugs that last a lot longer than sex. And I'm not saying I'm like a two pump chump, as they say. No, I'm not afraid to take some time with the old sexual intercourse. Yet, nevertheless, really, it doesn't take up that much of my time. And if it were really the best thing ever, then it would last as long as drugs. Amen. Let's smoke a bowl. I think the bottom line is for men who are single and who highly prioritize sex, they see some hot chick and they're like, ah man, that chick's hot. But they also think this, and maybe I could fuck her. Whereas me, I'm single, and I see that hot chick, go, that's a hot chick. And um and what was I ordering here? Oh yeah, can I get a double cheeseburger? It never would occur to me, and maybe I could fuck her because I was, and as they say, puss shy. I wasn't like rolling with confidence, and I wasn't equipped to play that game. I I wasn't confident, and everything meant way too much in that area because none of it means anything except on metrics that I'm terrible at. Is info mode to boofing? I guess boofing is both putting and receiving at the same time, as far as info modes go. The info modes are put, get, receive, and interface. Like right now, I'm interfacing because I'm playing poker. I have to pay attention to that. If I don't pay attention to that, then like I'll cease interfacing and it'll just take my blinds. Um, I'm also interfacing with the chat, but that's a much more forgiving interface. It's a combo mode, right? There's this one meme about French people that I don't get because I didn't look up what the word means, but I think it's about boofing. Cheers. So, if you're one of those kind of people who, instead of being puss shy, you're just like, of course I want to play the game, the greatest game that humans play, the mating game. Because think how many hot chicks there are out there. I could bang so many of them. It's just a matter of chatting them up. I'm good. I can chat anybody up. I'm good. Hey girl, sup? There are plenty of people who are like that, and plenty of girls who are the same way. Like, oh my God, I am going to take so much dick tonight. It's going to be amazing. I mean, one of the things that article said is that women probably have higher libidos than men, even though they're expected not to. Rachel's in bed. Poker, poker, Bram Stoker. Poker, poker, read Bram Stoker. That's to me almost unfathomable. What all the the desire to go out and just take a bunch of dick. Yeah, it's unfathomable to me too because it doesn't seem like it just seems like not hygienic. Like this person that they're getting with is more or less a stranger. I don't even feel comfortable going to the bathroom at a stranger's house touching their toilet. Rachel is in bed at 9 o'clock. She is today people with confidence taking puss and dick. Yeah, I don't get it either. To me, it's like, it's one of those things where, well, I would say it's fraught with emotional peril, except it's more like, oh my God, we're holding hands. I guess now we're going to get married. Now we get married. I finally made it to first base. I'm marrying this woman. Much less wanting to. Yeah, I know. Oh, well, that's a good flop. How much is in the pot? Okay, okay. Now I'm pot committed. Flop to straight. She's biracial now too. Oh, is she? What's her second race? I win because I had the straight. But I posted that a meme earlier tonight that I liked to see because I hear that all the time. People tell me when Rachel and I are streaming together, especially, or if Rachel is mostly streaming and I'm like on chiming in with occasional comments or something, they say, "You're a lucky man, Eric." And I go, "Yeah, I know, I am a lucky man." What they really mean is, I would fuck your wife. That's what they mean. I realized that tonight when I saw the meme. I would totally fuck your wife. Congratulations. So, to me, physical intimacy is something that requires a lot of trust and familiarity and comfort. Uh, no, not that. When they say you're a lucky man, I mean, I would fuck your wife if I could, but they can't. So they're saying congratulations to me. You have a hot wife. Rachel is actually from the Atlantean people, the people of the ocean. They lived in Atlantis for a long time, but then an asteroid hit it. Napoli? I guess because it's Naples? Nepali? Oh, you mean from Nepal? Yes, Rachel's from Nepal, but that's where all the Atlanteans went after Atlantis exploded. She's from Paper Sahedi. And she's from West Ontario, which is right next to West Nepal. Naples is a region in Italy. Naples is a city in Italy. I don't think it's a region. It might be a region. I don't know. Who can really say whether something's officially just a city or a region? Born and raised in West Ontario. I want to boof, boof, boof that ketamine right now. Nepal is a region in Italy, which is in West Ontario. Gotcha. Right. Which is the sneaky, less crowded way to fly out of Los Angeles. Nepal is a region in Italy, which is in West Ontario, which is the easier airport to fly out of from Los Angeles. So there's a lot going on. Boofing K sounds scary. Anyway, are you streaming after a while? Or did I just keep missing it? No, I've been on taking a break because, oh yeah, Burbank is actually the more. Burbank is great, but there's also John Wayne. Acacia, have you ever flown in and out of John Wayne? That's in Long Beach, I think. So Los Angeles has quite a few airports. It's got Ontario, it's got Burbank, it's got John Wayne, and it's got LAX. Not to mention little, like small plane airports such as El Monte. The Burbank airport runway is so small, you just got to trust your pilot. I've been watching a lot of air disaster videos on. What was the first thing you mentioned? I was about to say Ontario. I don't know what the first thing I mentioned was. I guess I'm just not keeping track of the things I mentioned. Oh, the first sneaky airport. Yeah. I was born promoting the Ontario airport. Give me some more of that hot Ontario airport action. I love it. What do you got? Ace nine. You lose. You hate air crash documentaries? Why? They're exciting. Some of them end with some survivors. Most of them, everybody dies, but I also like the ones where somebody survives, but not all of them. That those ones are good ones where because it means like they tried to pull in and they tried to land on that lake, but they tipped over and everybody got fucked except for these 15 survivors. And they interview them. And everyone's like, "Look at you surviving a plane crash. Look at you go." The sneaky airports. Yeah, you generally want to stay away from LAX, I think. Uh, you say the runway at Burbank's too short. I say the taxiing at LAX is too long. You land your plane at LAX, and then you got to drive in your plane all the fucking way over there. And then you get out of your plane, then it's fairly quick and easy because probably you've got somebody circling to pick you up at the curb. But I hate it when what's even worse than that is like if you go to Dallas, Fort Worth, you might have to take a little bus from your terminal to the plane. And I hate buses. Burbank, when I landed, it seemed like the pilot was braking with a handbrake. Well, you didn't have to taxi far after you landed. I can guarantee you that, especially compared to LAX. And John Travolta has a runway at his house in Florida. It's in Florida, G. He's got a runway and a jet airplane. When people complain about his carbon footprint. Can we just stop with that shit, please? Carbon footprint. Oh, the rental cars are far? Well, maybe. I see. I always lived in LA, so I never had to deal with the rental car things in LA. But short runways can cause problems, as happened in this one air crash documentary I was seeing. They were flying into someplace in Austria, I think. Hi, David. Good morning to you, too. It's not morning, but good evening to you. I am aware that lots of other places on the globe operate on wrong time. And I'm sorry that happened to you, but David's among those. He's operating on wrong time. He's not lying. It does look like morning where he is. We should switch Lake Michigan with Pacific Ocean. That's my startup. I'm building the pipelines. John Travolta sold his jet. I've just not long woke up. Lol. I like that sentence construction. The Boeing 707 sounds fairly old. Now they have bigger numbers than that. That's why I think it sounds fairly old. Okay, well, I got third pair and open ender on the turn. I think I'm going to call any reasonable bet here. What if he goes all? I mean, I've got twice his stack. I got him covered. This guy goes all in. I'll just have to call it. He only got 8 big blinds. Wake and bake G45. Oh man, thank you for reminding me. I tend to, unfortunately, neglect my pot smoking duties because I get distracted by something. You know, it's tossing in some S, some SE. I lose. That's fine. I only lost a couple of big blinds there. Eric is on something for sure. I'm on like 5 Wellbutrins. I learned yesterday that if you take enough Wellbutrin, it gets the bad side effects that I had, it just kind of like went away. I don't know if I got used to it or what. These things used to make, if I took more than one Wellbutrin, it used to make me super car sick. And certainly I would like, I plan to not take Wellbutrin until after I'd driven to town and back, because if I actually drove, it made me feel even doubly car sick, you know? No, it's not Adderall. I'm not on any Adderall at all. Is there a problem with the audio? This doesn't look to be on my end. Wellbutrin. It's kind of speedy, but it's not amphetamine. The generic name for it is bupropion. 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 Yeah, we're experts in drugs. Can you guess what I'm going to get tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Can you guess? It's not an amphetamine, no. And it's not a scheduled drug. But if you take a bunch of them, then it'll make you feel like, all right, let's get some shit done. Okay, I'm down. Johnny Doe, you get a wonder point for getting the answer correct. Congratulations. A Viagra? No, I'm not getting that tomorrow. I'm getting mushrooms tomorrow. It's not like speed at all. I don't know how to explain it. It's more like that one drug they use for sleep shift disorder that has the word cat in it. Yeah, Ritalin's an amp. It's just a super shitty one. No, Johnny Doe, that's not it. If you're FBI, Google sleep shift disorder. Yes, you can smoke Adderall, although apparently only two of the three kinds of speed you smoke, but still you can, yes. And I have prescribed for sleep disorder. I don't see it here, but oh, here it is. Provigil, modafinil. That's what it's called, modafinil. Taking a bunch of Wellbutrin is like taking modafinil. What's my drug of choice? Amphetamines. Ideally, amphetamines and mushrooms combined would be good. Well, you're a lucky guy, um, David. I wish I had your problem. You know, modafinil is a drug where it's. I think you can take up to four of them and have the impacts change, and then strangely and weirdly, any more you take than that does nothing to you. I'm not sure on the mechanism of it because I googled it before, but yeah, taking you could try to take a lot of modafinil, but it would be the exact same as taking four of them. Modafinil is not like an amp either. That's what I. But see, that's not what amphetamines do. Amphetamines give you motivation, not just keep you up and make you do things. Picking carry bags full. What are carry bags? Oh, right. Picking carry bags full. Gotcha. Carry is not modifying bags. Now that makes more sense, David. Now you're talking in a more sensible fashion. But yeah, you know me. I may not be streaming for a super long time. Like if I were on amphetamines, I'd stream for a long time, almost for sure. I'd just be like, blah 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 blah. Here we go. I'm all slacked out. Let's rock and roll. It's party time. Modafinil is much less of, I mean, not modafinil, Wellbutrin, but it's also true for modafinil. It's not much of a party drug. But it does kind of keep the sleepy week at bay. Chicken of the forest. It was weird 25 years ago you could have a bag of freshly picked shrooms and it would be legal, but if they were dry, then it would be a Class A drug. Now they're both Class A drugs. And yet they grow right next to you, like right near your house or whatever. That's so ridiculous. It's ridiculous to criminalize mushrooms. I cannot conceive of any possible reason why mushrooms should be criminalized. I mean, most drugs I would say the same thing about, but mushrooms especially. They have a tolerance curve. It makes them impossible to abuse. Really, like they don't work if you don't like put in a week or so between, where you got to eat a lot more. Brrr, it's cold outside. When it gets cold outside, it turns me into a horse. There's my kitty. Look at her glory. Okay. Okay, let's smoke some bowls. Let's put in some time and pull like I'm gonna set out here like 8 bowls, and then I'm gonna try to pull all 8 bowls without a break, like without too long between them. Okay. Now I'll get 5, 6, 7. Well, this is really a double, so I'll put this one here and this one here. 8. Okay, I'll show you my 8 bong rips. All right, so look at my 8 bong rips. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bong rips. So now let's pull them. Let's try to pull all 8 without stopping, without a break. Just pull them straight through. Here we go. Just another day at the office. We're going to be workmanlike about this and just get it done. Number 1. Oh, like 7 months. Well, from the end of April through, I don't know. Maybe it was less than 7 months. Maybe it was 6 months. 1 bong rip. 1 bong rip. The count. Two tasty bong rip. 3 tasty bong rip. Hand me my lunch pail, boys, because I'm going to work. Four. Take the bottom. Please don't boil me alive. Okay, here's 5. Bar number 5. What made you stream on YouTube, Eric? I'll get to that in a second. Let me finish this bong rip flight, okay? It's a good question. I'll answer it. Well, this is store-bought weed. It's pretty good. But now I'm switching from the less good store-bought weed. I put 2 of the last 3 bong rips are this expensive weed. Durban poison. Okay, I got 3 more bong rips to pull. Then I'm going to answer Johnny Doe's question. This is 7. Oh, we're getting there. Fortunately, I gave myself a small one for 8. I did it. I made a flight and I smoked the bong rips. I did it. I did it. I like it a lot. Okay, why did I start YouTubing? What made me stream on YouTube? Okay, well, it's the best format for my absolute values. Extroverted intuition, which is ideation, creativity, or in its basic form, just talking about a variety of things. And then it hits on my 3rd slot value, FE, which is people say nice things about me or give me likes or, just care enough to watch me. It's very pleasing. Makes me think that people perceive me well. Gives me plenty of opportunity to make my case that people should perceive me well. People call you Eric here, though. Well, that's because it's my name. It's not spelled like that, though. Smash them up and bang them up. Hi, bro. Hi, bro. I mean, bro. I mean, broski. I mean, brohan. I mean, Brozovic. Do you know there's a player on the UCLA basketball team whose last name is Walker? His parents named his first name Sky, spelled with 2 Y's. So he's Skywalker. Why did his parents do that? Well, live streams, hey man, that's how it's spelled. You don't make the rules. Fair enough, Johnny Doe. Live streams are a creative, expansive, extrovert thing. FE Kid, likely the feedback from us fans of Eric. I told the Strauss. Well, I mean, you could also say it's just I like to socialize, and this is a way to socialize without having to go somewhere and do something. But the truth is, I don't like to socialize as in a panel discussion because the problem with panel discussions is if you're at a cocktail party with say 12 people there, you're not going to all have one group conversation including all 12 people. Some of you will go off to a corner, two of you will go talk over there and two talk over here, maybe three talk over here, you know. And so it's a fine environment. The socializing aspect of a party, just people chilling to have a good time, is present theoretically in both panels and in live streams, but in practice, it's much more happening in live stream because in the live stream, people can, in fact, do that to some extent. So if David just wanted to talk to Johnny Doe, he could put at Johnny Doe and Johnny Doe could put at David on each of their chats, and it wouldn't interfere with anybody else's conversation. So in that regard, live streaming is much more like an actual hanging out, chill party. Whereas panel discussion is a chaotic nightmare. Your friends, yeah, your friend, my mate called his daughter Mary Joanna. Mary Joanna. Mary Jane Anna. Oh, Mary Jane Anna. I see. Mary Jo is a possible name too. Like Joe from Facts of Life. It's just spelled J-O. She was the tomboy. That's what they were called before lesbians existed. Pretty sure it beats talking to AI. I mean, I think so because people just there's something about AI that just has an inauthenticity to it. But I don't get that same sense for visual images made by AI necessarily. Some of them you do get that sense because they've got like that classic like repeating a thing too much. Have I used LLMS? Yeah, I use LLMS. I certainly do. Um, I have a lot of things on it. Which one? Oh, you said LLMS. No, I use LMMS. I don't know what LLMS is. Oh, LLMs. I have used. Well, I mean, I use Gemini occasionally. I have used it a couple of times. Rachel talks to Chat GPT, and sometimes I'll be like, if when she's doing ChatGPT, I'll say, "Can you ask it meow?" But I I'm familiar with the way they operate. Like the ChatGPT lady that Rachel talks to. That's a great question, Rachel. There are lots of different ways that people can enjoy meow, 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 meow. It's like that. It's just I don't know. It smells like old fish. My hand might very well be good here. I don't know. What's this super generic yawn stuff? I mean, if you wanna, if you want to, if you want to make an AI real seeming, it's not going to be what people want either. Exactly. Although they do have, they did have that thing called meow meow meow. I forget what it's called. Replica, which purported to be like a replica of your loved one or something. Dixon Cider. I have not heard Dixon Cider before. I like that one. Uh, Ethan Beaver. I'm not sure about that one. I mean, do you know Anita Dick and Me? She's pretty popular. For obvious reasons. I'll give you a hint. It's because she needs a dick. Meow. There. All right, now standing up. You might say, why, Eric? Why are you standing up? To which I reply, I don't know why. I don't know why. All right, Johnny Doe, you go. You were using it on their servers. Of course, it's going to be generic for people's safety. Yeah, I guess. But that's another thing that I get annoyed at. It's like I'm asking some kind of question, like about these old books that I used to see that were religious pamphlets that showed really like pictures. Really, they had cartoons on them, which drew the attention of me as a kid, and my probably other kids as well. And what? What? Um, fine, fine, okay, all right. I can't stay in there for long. I'm playing poker. Poorly, you might say. Yeah, it is very much possible for me to both interface, play poker, and talk in general because of the pace of this interfacing is pretty slow. I can get back in time for my new hand or something. But really, if I wanted to play poker and pay good attention to what I'm doing, I'm gonna have to stop talking. I can't pay full attention via a given modality at the same time that I'm paying full attention via another modality. And so while putting and interfacing can be done concurrently, neither can be done as well concurrently as it can be done by itself. In other words, if you're not even talking about poker, and certainly if you're not talking about the hands you're playing and stuff, don't live stream and play poker at the same time because you will play poorly. But here's the thing about that. The only reason I wanted to live stream was because absolutely, David, legalize cannabis in the UK. FS? Isn't that one too many Fs? Regardless, if I was doing multiple things, like I was listening to music, I was scrolling through memes, and I was playing poker. And, let's pretend I was having a conversation with Rachel again as well at the same time. Which she was sitting there for some of that with me. So I probably said a few things to her. So that's a lot of different kinds of attention going on at once. The meme getting being a receiving thing, even though I'm looking for it, which is kind of like getting something. I'm just receiving whether or not the meme's good. I was receiving something, I receiving. Then I was listening to music, ear receiving, and I was playing poker, interfacing, and let's say talking to Rachel, another form of interfacing that I can squeeze in between interfacing actions and this one because it's term based. I think of the song "Brand New Man" by Brooks and Dunn every time I take a shit. You're back for a few more minutes. Well, welcome back, Johnny Doe. Your normal seat is still warm. Gooder Bear. I don't know that song, Brand New Man by Brooks and Dunn, but I will agree with the sentiment that, a hearty, meaty, fully realized shit, right? You let that out, you can stand up, you feel like a new man. It's true. Blessed are we who spend the time to look inside our boxes in our heart. Blessed be we. Blessed be we would be a good name for somebody. If your last name was Beewee, then you name your kid Blessed. Blessed be we. Just as foul be the friends of the devil, the minions of evil. Things like dancing and riding in a carriage together with more than one animal. My daughter is half Mexican. Yes, she's a quarter Mexican. Have you ever traveled to South America? No. Did you not like my Lake Michigan Pacific Ocean pipeline startup idea? I'm not sure what service exactly it's providing that we need. Are you going to do something with the salt water? Is the fresh water making everything in Michigan too fresh? Like, I understand that you're advocating, or are you just advocating that we change the status of things, that now we call Michigan's lake, Lake Michigan, that we call it salty and we call the other one fresh? I don't know. I don't know. And you don't know. But I don't know as well. I don't know. But you don't know. And neither do I, nor now. Okay. The cat's outside. Good for the cat, is what I say. It's too fresh. It's too fresh. You need to saltify it. You're digging for the pipeline. Cool. I hope you have a themed crypto coin I can buy. If Pipeline coin is already taken, I'd go for Salty Canal. There's water in my Salty Canal. Well, hello there. You know who that was? The Knots coin. Salty Canal coin. Salty Canal coin. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I always need a tissue when I have too much snot. Where? Oh, I see it. It's over here. Never mind. Don't panic, everybody. You guys all panic way too easily. What do you mean you don't like this camera view? Look, that's a great you need to see some wall, and now you got a good look at what the wall looks like. You hadn't even really spent much time thinking about what the wall looks like before. So you're welcome. Instead of showing me here, I'm going to show the poker, okay? Is that the new drum set? It's the new drum set and keyboard, yes. All right, that will allow you to see all of the hot poker action, and while you hear this other thing. This is helping you to receive from two different physical receivers, eyes and ears, at the same time, but not relevant to each other. So this, or it might be relevant to it. We'll have to see how relevant it is. Ace-9 fold. What I need is my flashlight. I'm going to have to turn this down because Rachel's in bed. She might be sleeping. I don't know. Highly unlikely she's asleep. But it happens. I think edibles tend to make her sleep pretty well, but I don't think she had any. So I just need to shove or fold. I'm in shove or fold mode. That's right, you're doing that. Okay. Stop. Yes, it's a drum machine keyboard. Right. One, two, three, four. Turn it down a bit. Okay, so I'm going to change now what sound plays on the keyboard. That'll make you feel really good. Let's try that one. What is this? Let's change the drums. too loud. I can turn it down. This is number 3. I'm going to play for you and you can call out which number you like, okay? 4. By call out, I mean type. 5. Are you a drummer on an acoustic kit? Well, I mean, I'd love to have a drummer. Obviously, it's only an approximation of what you want here, because you can't program the like, you can't make it go so that everything lines up with what you want it to line up with. Okay. So alright. I have to interface for a second. All in. This could be the end of poker, in which case you'll have all of my attention. Okay. Are you eating China for a late night snack? Do you love vagina when you're coming back from the other place? Called the outside. The public place. Yeah, don't eat vagina for a late night snack in public. Don't go to McDonald's, eat vagina for a late night snack. If you do, you might get in trouble. You're not allowed to bring in outside food at McDonald's, so don't eat vagina there for a late night snack. Oh yeah. Check. Let's try a different beat. Oh, we're into the waltzes now. No, that's not a waltz. My bad. Hard rock. Sounds like the devil's music to me. Like right there, me not paying attention because I was doing this hurt me in the poker. Okay, let's go. Ooh ah 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 ooh 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 ooh. Excuse me, I had to. See, 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 see. This is gonna be how to sing. let it ring. I need more drums. Yes, I do. Little more drum for you. I need more drums. As you can tell, I'm something of a beginner on the piano here. But that's okay. You know what? You don't got to be an expert on the piano. What is that one? I don't even know what that does. Not piece. I just got to turn it off because I pushed the button. I don't know what it does. And it won't go away. Let's try again. Let's try 45 as a number. And that is high key bass. And then we're going to have a beat that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, what are we going to do? We've got voice, we've got style. We're going to go style. Let's see. I could maybe up the tempo a little bit. Okay. Now you see, there we go. Here we go. First gonna play this hand right here. I've got a screen and I'm at the atmosphere where it's shove or fold up. I'm gonna shove with my all in glove. I'm gonna push all of my chips in. It's very plausible that this is the end. Hold on. I gotta fold. Okay, let's see. This bass sound is better up here because it's too quiet down there in comparison to the drums. I could change them relative to each other in here, but I don't feel like it. You got to look at me now. You got to see those aces. Here we go. All in again. Call me all in again because I'm all in again. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in with my aces. I'm all in and it's ready to begin with my aces. I'm not wearing braces. I'm just playing aces. And if you don't like it, go to heck, go to heck. I'm gonna play my aces, play these queen nine of spades at, well, sure. Now I'm gonna wait and see what this guy does. If he's a go to raise it up, but he's not going to, he just calls in. Now I see a flop, it's Niagara Falls for me. No, I don't want to call it just one. I know, that's like Lay's, a trap. Nobody can eat just one. Oh, congratulations, you're in the money. Okay, let's see. In the future, there will come a time when all of the plants are just called trees by people. No matter what size they are or kind of plant. There'll be a backlash against the persnickety arborists. You might say, what drugs is Eric on? You might say, what drugs is Eric on? But I tell you, I'm not on nothing. And then I correct myself and I would say, nothing but Wellbutrin. And you might ask me, how many Wellbutrin did you take? I said 5 or 6 is great. Yeah. Here we go. Wellbutrin. Let's go, Wellbutrin. You're really tooting your own horn lately. Wellbutrin, you are smell smooth bread. Your own horn lately. I said, I am high on life. With 5. Or so Wellbutrin. It's hard to play the piano. Fold. I got to fold. Just like your old size and smalls that we talked about that time. Hard rock. I'm gonna play a D minor. I'm gonna play it now, it's not just a D. I'm gonna play a D minor. D major now. Oh yeah. Maybe I'm not great on the piano, but let me be. Okay, well, that was great. You did a great job, Eric. Rock Shuffle 1. I've got to fold. I'm not used to changing chords on the piano. This is like, you know, um, maybe some kind of chase scene or something. This, I'm not sure. Alright, D. Here. Man, it's like, I'm not used to playing the keyboard, obviously. well, I'm gonna maybe be going all in. Oh, I mean, I'm definitely going all in, but I mean, I may be butting out right now. I'm 72nd of 77, so things aren't looking great. But maybe with my 9-7 of diamonds, you never know. That's it, I'm done. Well, I did well in the money, I guess. $22. Great. Oh, that's just great. Thanks a lot, YouTube. That's not YouTube's fault. Yeah. There's no sheet music for awesome. Here we go. Like this one, right? You just have to get used to playing in rhythm with the beat. My rhythm on the keyboard's not good enough. Time to change up the beat. 16 beat, huh? Now there's twice as many of you. Well, I want to change it to sound too. Voice. Russ and Steven, delight in delivering cheese every day. That's the next word. Yeah, actually I need grand piano for this. Oops. Portable grand. You see how it would be easy to make a score for a movie, you know? You just see what's going on in the scene and figure out what it sounds like musically. Russ and Steven do like. Okay. I don't remember that song. I have to work on that song. I want to be able to play that song again, and I will, but I'm going to work on it some other occasion. Right now, what I will do is play that famous song that everybody loves. That's right. We aren't talking about once, twice, but 3 times a row in our boat. We're going to roll our boat. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. My rendition of row, row, row your boat. I said, row, row, row your boat, motherfuckers. This part. so maybe everybody's dear to me, but everybody's perceptions are. Alright, this is a hard instrument, I tell you. Someone should have told me this was such a hard thing to play. That'll be a good one for this song, actually. No, thank you. Harp, huh? I don't want to change that. I want to change this. Let's see. What song could I play? I could play on the piano. What song could I actually play? This one. A7. But I want something that sustains. space. This is interesting. The thing is, I need to fuck around on this on some other time, not right now. But I'm doing it right now anyway. Gee, now you can talk as much shit as you want, because I am like Kant, in that I can't play the keyboards. Now, G, you can talk as much shit as you want, 'cause it's true. I can't play the keyboards. Let's rock, everybody. Now, G, talk a lot of shit about me, because I'm not playing in the board key as well as he thinks I should. No, that's too fast. No, that's too slow. No, stop it. My name is G. You need to get this. You need to get this kind of pedal. You need to get this other thing. And then you can finally be good. You need to get this big thing there. And you need to get some underwear. And then you'll finally be good. I don't wanna get that amplifier that you're talking about. Nor do I want to get some other thing that's better than the one I have. It's fine. Oh, it's fine. Horrible Eric can't play the guitar. I mean, I can't play the keyboard. You can play the guitar, okay, I guess, if you like things that you appreciate. Hi-hat light. What is that? Is that G major? I guess so. Doesn't seem like G major should be. Sounds like you should have a sharp or something in it. I'm tired. I need to go to bed. Love song. Hey baby, this one goes out to you, because I love you. Not everybody gets the chance to feel strong emotions in their heart. But baby, I do. Yeah, baby, I know. 'Cause I feel love in my heart. Love song, that's what the beat's called. I have loved you all along. Love song, teaching me she doesn't have a sharp bit, neither does she. B flat always sounds better to me when. Okay, I'll get better at this, I will get better, I can tell. I'm already getting better. 68 modern. Okay. Funny. Interesting. I just like hearing this. Like if I could get the thing steady, I was hearing this thing in the background that was clearly like it was a melody, but it was also like a sound. And I thought, I mean, I heard it so clearly that I thought it was coming from the keyboard. And so I stopped it to C, and of course, it was not. I stopped playing the notes to C. It was just the voices in the wind. I can tell I'm going to have a lot of fun with this thing. I got my quarter-inch cables, but it's not the sort of thing that I can really do right now in front of other people because I'm so terrible at the keyboard. So I'm going to keep streaming for a little while longer. I'm going to go have a cigarette. I may end up I may end up ending the stream early just to play with the keyboard. I should bring mine too with me. So the thing is, if I want to record myself playing with the drums, I need to record the drums for some stretch of time, and then onto the computer, and then record the keyboard by itself. Because if they're both coming out at the same time, they'll be on the same track, you know. You're gonna be 53 next month. Good for you. Congratulations. Proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You know what? You're doing a great job, Tiger. I'm a lot older than you, so it's understandable that I might talk to you with diminutives. Once you're 53 like me, you'll understand. It's different. Things are different. I should go to bed. I'm super tired. Tomorrow is the big game. The Big Ten championship game between USC and UCLA. Two teams that just so happen to be ranked near the top of the country as well. What are you meowing about? Okay. Well, you can go watch you eat now because I'm no longer a slave to the computer because I'm no longer playing poker. Finally, he says, you actually stand here and watch me eat. Well, the reason for that trouble is because I don't want to watch you eat. But I guess I need to be less selfish. I should watch you eat a little bit more. So after we watch the cat eat, I'm going to end the live stream and do a couple of things. Probably go to bed. Seems like a good end of a movie, right? Like the cat's just eating there for some stretch of time. Everybody's watching the cat eat. It goes on for like 30 seconds, a minute, maybe. I'm not sure exactly sure. I have to figure out the timing on it. And then it starts to fade to black. And fade in the audio too. Yeah. That'd be a good ending to a movie. Okay. And it's also a good ending to a live stream. So thank you all very much for being here. You are loved by me. And don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.